welcome to our sharing. We are Singapore Study Tour Group 5, and today we're going to share with you our visit to Singapore's Cantonment Primary School.
After we had our beauty sleep, we were all full of spirits. We traveled there fairly early from our hotel. And as we saw the huge school facilities, we were already overjoyed. I can assure you, there were many wows and woes when we saw the school. The design was very intriguing, and the scenery was very beautiful. And as we saw the students and teachers from the Cantonment Primary School, we were all overcome with excitement. All of us had a smile on our faces.
On the other hand, the teachers and student ambassadors there were also really excited and full of joy. They were happy to show us around their school campus. On the other hand, there were some students playing on the playground, and they all stared at us as if we were aliens from another planet. But all was fine after they understood that we came for a study tour. They immediately changed attitudes and became really happy to us.
$1 tissue paper talked about a grandfather has lost his job and became very poor. However, her granddaughter wanted to buy many things like her friends. Her grandfather needed to earn money. Therefore, the grandfather sold a pack of tissue paper for $1 along the street.
And as you can imagine, selling only $1 for tissue papers, you don't make much money, right? So we've learned that a lot of people live in poverty and pain. So we must save all of our things that we have bought. And we also have to be grateful for all the things we have in life. Some of these people don't even wear quality underpants. And I know you're laughing, but the thing is, actually a lot of people don't have some of these things. And we have to understand that we are very lucky. And even though we don't need to provide them with our whole life, but then we should also respect them for who they are. And life is tough, and our parents make us money every single day, and for like 10 hours, so we should definitely appreciate them.
We also had a dancing session. We danced to a song as an instructor taught us the moves. The energetic students also taught us. They gave up the chance to dance and taught us instead.
We have played a passing game in the PE lesson called Captain's Ball, where there's a requirement that you cannot move when passing through an alley. This precise teaching method would enhance, improve, and let us understand volleyball more precisely. We followed the guidelines from the teacher and understood the method easily. Also, when we were having the PE lesson, I found that they were very kind to us. They tried to make more opportunity to give us the ball so that we can play too, not just stay in the corner. After an exhausting PE lesson, we headed down to the ground floor to take a break. The school provided us each with a special card called a debit card, with similar functions to a credit card, where you deposit, for instance, $5 into the special cards, after which you get to use the card to purchase school items like food in the cafe or stationery in the food store. The school luckily was very generous, providing us all with $5 Singapore in the card for the cafe. The portions of the food were pretty tiny and delicate, but enough to feed one's stomach and was well made enough to devour. We also enjoyed hanging out with the boys and girls in Cantonment Primary School. We even managed to get their phone numbers to keep in touch. Unfortunately, time flies, and it was time for the next school activity.
We were led around the school by several enthusiastic ambassadors. They kindly showed us around the school facilities, such as the library, the playground, the arts room, and many more. We were baffled by the complexity of that school campus. The ambassadors introduced every place with so many details.
After they finished showing us their school, there was still a little bit of time left. Therefore, they allowed us to further explore the library. There we read books and talked with the friends. Also, there was a small corner where it introduced many languages, such as Malay, Chinese, and so much more. Overall, it was a great place to be and to kill time.
We didn't realize that it was already time to go. Well, you know the old saying, time flies when your experience is fun.
We left with a really heavy heart, wanting to stay just a bit longer.
In this trip, we learned a lot about the unique Singaporean educational system, which was quite different from Hong Kong's.
At last, we had to leave, but we would always remember the precious experience we had in Cantonment Primary School.
We might not get used to lessons in Singapore, but we should still experience and respect different cultures. I hope when we go to Singapore next time, we can see those students again.
Hello, I am Eldon So, and I am one of the members in Group 4 of the Singapore Study Tour. It was a really memorable experience for all of us, and we are sharing a part of our experience, which was visiting Fairfield Methodist School. It was a really special experience as it wasn't a normal sight for travelers, but the fact that we could go in and learn with the Singaporean students was our privilege. The Fairfield Methodist Primary School is a Christian school established on August 4th, 1888, and its vision is to develop leaders of the future, pursuing excellence, upholding strong Christian moral values, and having a heart to serve. Its core values develop love and reverence for God, integrity, resilience, respect, serving, and giving. Their dedication in Christ is strong, and their students were all polite and respectful to their teachers. Now the rest of the group will share memorable experiences with all of us. May I please invite the next speaker, Nathan Chan, to share more about this unforgettable stay at Fairfield Methodist.
Greetings, everybody. I'm Nathan Chan, and I'm going to talk about an event from our visit in Fairfield Methodist School, which is learning Tamil language and culture with them. Fairfield surprised us with interesting news. We were going to eat with hands. For some people, it seemed difficult to adjust to this new eating way, but others found it rather easy to cope with it. Our meal was scrumptious. We ate the nasi lemak, which consisted of rice cooked in coconut milk and spicy food. Everybody surely had a wonderful experience. This meal was simply unforgettable. After this hearty meal, we were given the opportunity to learn Tamil language. I was extremely thrilled because I prefer to explore new things. We were taught to write A in Tamil, which is pronounced A in English. Right after learning the basics, my roommate Lincoln and I had a competition. Whoever wrote more A's won. In the end, there was no clear winner. It was a tie. After this memorable day, I realized that we should strive to learn more. There are lots that we don't know about, but after our visit to Fairfield, I decided to embark on a quest to learn more about different languages. This was really a wonderful tour. I hope we have another one in this final golden year.
Fairfield invited us to their hall to watch their inter-class competition and for us to play a friendly match with them as well. The game was to stack all the rows of cups in the fastest manner possible. It was an interesting test of agility. How should you stack it? What method should you use? There was much to think about in this simple game. I was lucky to experience this game myself, and I can tell you firsthand, it was not easy at all. We thought the game rules and the methods were evident enough, but once we got to work, we found out it was not a walk in the park at all. The cups kept sliding out of our hands, and we soon had to change plans by using both of our hands instead of one. Fairfield won by a hair, but we were all very happy to have actually played with them and interacted with them. We really have much to learn from Fairfield. The interclass competition that they hosted increased the friendships between classes and students, and I could see that they all were very friendly, not only between themselves, but among us too. This maybe comes from their competitions. It was a golden opportunity to be able to participate in this tour, and this was one of my most valuable moments. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Preston Seed, and today I'm sharing with you an unforgettable moment where we visited the basketball court and crop garden. The basketball court was not as big as ours, but there was a rock climbing wall and we all tried to climb on it. I originally thought that it was going to be a piece of cake climbing to the top, but soon my foothold and handholds crossed and twisted together, and as I progressed through the miniature wall, my hands soon stopped and I was forced to fall back and plan out my route carefully. I cannot believe that such a tiny rock climbing wall would have made me so exhausted. However, it is a good facility as it can train your athletic skills and critical mindset at the same time. Then, we walked to the crop garden. It was surrounded by a pool. The garden promoted knowledge about farming and environmental protection. That's not unique on the planet. Environmental protection is a common topic when it comes to education and pollution. But Fairfield Methodist Crop Garden can always enhance the students' interest in environmental and plant science. There are billboards and posters everywhere stating information about different plants, which brings more knowledge to us. These two moments were educational and unforgettable. We have much more to learn, and this is the correct step for further education. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Caspian, and today I'm here to share with you a memorable experience of the visit to Fairfield Methodist School Primary, drawing digital art. I was genuinely surprised when I heard that Fairfield also did digital art like our school. It was only a difference in the applications, in which their school used IBIS Paint and our school used Procreate. Personally, I favor Procreate. I think the layout and accessibility of the app is generally better and easier to operate than IBIS Paint. Maybe the school is trying to encourage students to try different applications of technology and challenge themselves by using apps with different layouts and different maneuvering controls, which I admire very much. At their school, we did a self-portrait. The teacher showcased one of his own pieces, and I was really impressed by his skills. I paid close attention as he talked about how the opacity of the background was measured and how you could turn it down. After, you could trace the background picture. I thought tracing would be an easy task, but I found the hairline, nose, and eyes were hard to draw. When I deleted the background layer, it was like looking at a cartoon and not a realistic picture. So I had to think of how to make it better. After trial and error, I was really pleased with the final product of my drawing. People murmur everywhere, especially nowadays when artificial intelligence is stirring up a storm in our lives, that technology is going to take over the world somehow. Rumors have it even that McDonald's is going to be fully automatic in just 2 years, leaving a huge amount of people unemployed. But I experienced just the opposite. All we need is to look deeper and give it a chance. It is beautiful, and I think what Fairfield is doing, which is nurturing the correct use of technology, is beautiful too. Thank you.
Greetings to you all. I'm Felix Ma, and I will tell you about the part where we visited the huge culture gardens in Fairfield. In total, we visited 4 culture gardens and 1 greenhouse. The garden that was the most memorable to me was the Chinese garden, and it was the biggest in size. And there were 2 ponds, which allowed students to learn about different stages of fish growth and how to feed them to grow into big fishes. Also, the students can have an opportunity to feed them by buying them food at the greenhouse. The students were very caring, and all were willing to feed the fish at their own expenses. The students who guided us through the school knew a lot about botany and told us all the details about every single plant fluently, which deeply amazed me as they even remembered the difficult scientific names which I obviously do not know, remember, and amazed me as and told me that they pay a lot of attention at school and we should learn the positive attitude towards learning. In conclusion, our tour in the school told me that we should not be arrogant because we know a lot, but we should strive to learn different aspects in life to make us an all-rounded person and one day contribute back to the society. I would like our friends in Singapore and all the teachers and student helpers for making our tour possible for us to learn in a different way. Thank you.
All in all, this was a really unforgettable experience, as you have all heard from our group. We have all found meaning in this wonderful visit to Fairfield Methodist. Fairfield really brings their students together in events and promotes different messages of friendship, kindness, and of Jesus Christ. Actually, did any of you think of the metaphor of this being a movie? I thought not. A movie always doesn't have a single moral. There are many morals scattered across the entire plot. Here we learned that everything requires thinking. Even a simple rock climbing activity to drawing to a cup stacking and technology. Using it wisely, you should have no worries at all. And environmental protection? That's not the main idea. The main idea is learning through fun. Playing with the frogs and fish and plants while reading is true learning through fun, not just playing. Reading is such a crucial part in learning, and Fairfield has made this crop garden in such a way that you're learning through fun without knowing it. The student ambassadors did a very good job, though we expected that they would have been a bit more outspoken. Maybe this is due to the principals and teachers wanting to give shy students with a passive attitude to develop a more active one and come out of their shells. Perhaps something like a buddies program with a one-on-one relationship would have been better, as it could have further improved our friendships and actually would have known each other. We truly learned so much from this visit, and it was one of the most valuable shards of the Singapore Study Tour memories. We truly thank our school for being able to connect with Fairfield Methodist Primary School so that we could have a taste of the Singaporean education experience. Now we will pass the time to the next group.
This is Group 3, and we are going to talk about the Singapore's innovation. The first place we went to is the Newater Visitor Centre. The second one is Marina Barrage. The third one is the Singapore's Air Force Museum. And the last one is the Science Centre. This is our amazing Group 3 with Morris, Jaden, Adric, Jason, Aiden, and Lucas. And of course, last but not least, our teacher, Mr. Jason. So you can see in the photo that we are all opening our mouths big. Why? Are we going to eat or bite something? Of course not. In the Singapore study tour, we went to many different places to see and learn. And we are here to shout out the 4 unveiling Singapore's innovation for you. Now, let me pass the microphone to Lucas and let him tell you the first innovation.
Thank you, Adric. Today I'm going to talk about the Singapore's Newater Visitor Centre. The Singapore Newater Visitor Centre is a state-of-the-art facility that showcases Singapore's innovative approach to water management. As a global leader in water sustainability, Singapore has developed advanced technologies to ensure a reliable and sustainable water supply for its residents. The Newater Centre serves as a hub for education and public engagement, providing visitors with a comprehensive understanding of Singapore's water story and importance of water conservation. Through interactive exhibits, informative displays, and guided tours, the centre offers a unique opportunity to learn about the process of transforming wastewater into high-quality drinking water. Well, Newater is only one of the methods or examples of how Singaporeans recycle used water. Now, let me invite Jean Chan to tell us more about another splendid illustration of how Singapore conserves water and faces the danger of global warming.
Marina Barrage, an infrastructure in Singapore. It is a dam which forms the 15th reservoir in Singapore. It acts as a tidal barrier to keep seawater out and helps to alleviate flooding in high-risk, low-lying areas of the downtown districts. This ensures the safety of Singapore. Inside the facility is an educational area. It has many games and facilities which make us experience different scenarios, such as the first thing we saw, which is a barrage model, which created rain and had cascades open, trying to remake the happenings during low and high tides. It also holds a vast amount of information about Singapore intriguing facts. However, water is just one of the main purposes of Singapore's innovations. So how about letting Aiden share another innovation, which is
the Singapore Air Force Museum. It is the place where I learned about the changes from the history of Singapore Air Force to the ones that were protecting Singapore now. At the entrance of the museum, huge aircraft models were exhibited. Upon seeing all of them, we all got out of hand. Later, Mr. Jason helped us take some exotic photos with these aircrafts. Later, we went to the display room, where we saw the eye-catching jet and the war suits, which the army wore in the past. My most memorable thing there is the 3D video, which we saw the Singapore Air Force fought off the enemies that were invading Singapore. It was truly gripping. I even watched it thrice. Here are some extra photos.
The trip to the Singapore Science Centre was utterly remarkable. When we went in, we were so amazed about how things worked. There were a lot of TVs, and besides them were experiments and equipments for you. We even found a two-sided mirror. When I turned on the lights, I could see myself. But when I turned it off, I could only see Adric. The next intriguing thing we approached was a plane simulator. We could control the joystick and steer the plane through circles according to the level. It was very fun to play because we could steer the plane freely. It was the most fantastic thing ever. Now, sadly, our Singapore trip had come to an end. Now, let me pass the mic to Jason to conclude a fruitful trip.
So, what do you think about Singapore's innovations after listening to our group? First and foremost, in the Singapore New Water Visitor Center, we learned that we should respect nature and conserve a natural resource because they told us about how they worked hard on recycling water. Furthermore, in the Marina Barrage, we learned that we should keep the world reduce global warming to prevent water levels from rising. Moreover, in the Science Center, we learned a lot of science-related information and materials, and were able to experience the science concepts in action. Last but not least, as we visited the Singapore Air Force Museum, the Singaporeans used Air Force to protect themselves as the individual country state and without any help from another country. So they were driven by circumstances to innovate on their own. In short, we should respect Singapore's innovations. Thank you for listening.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Group 2. In this Singapore study tour, we went to a lot of tourist spots and attractions. First, we will introduce the Gardens by the Bay.
Second is the Singapore City Gallery. Last but not least, the Marina Bay Sands and the Merlion.
Good afternoon. My name is Jay from 5C. Today, we will be presenting about the Gardens by the Bay, which we explored during our Singapore study tour in October 2023. The Gardens by the Bay is a modern structure which was completed and first introduced in 2012. Being a popular tourist attraction in Singapore, the park received 6.4 million visitors in 2014 and reached 50 million in 2018. It won many awards, including the award for the world's largest greenhouse in 2015. This site is 101 hectares big. Now, let's talk about sustainability. Sustainability is a key idea behind the Gardens by the Bay. The conservatories play an important role in plant conservation, allowing rare species to grow here. 11 of the super trees are embedded with environmentally sustainable functions. 7 of the super trees are designed to harvest solar energy for lighting up the super trees at night. They also collect rainwater, which is purified and then used by the community.
Hi, I'm Mark Al from 5E. Let me share my incredible experience at Gardens by the Bay. Gardens by the Bay is a large site with many areas to explore. We spent time with the Flower Dome. The Flower Dome's volume is equivalent to 75 Olympic swimming pools. We saw some Mongolian houses called yurts. Then we visited the Cloud Forest. The Cloud Forest is the size of 1.5 football fields. Inside, we climb up a tall staircase and we read rare plants. The higher you climb, the rarer the plants are. There is a huge waterfall. How huge is it? It is 35 meters tall. In the Cloud Forest, we also visited the Avatar experience, which was exciting. We had the chance to enter the world of Pandora and see the Na'vi people from Avatar, the famous movie series.
Hi, I'm Horace from 5C. I'm going to talk about the Singapore City Gallery. Its purpose is to plan Singapore into a green country, which has a lot of buildings, but many trees and grass next to the road. Singapore is a small country. Do you know? We only need 45 minutes to drive from side to side of Singapore. So planning is important and wise to optimize the use of limited land resource. Singapore is also building some new islands for landfill purpose. There is a huge board with 3D objects to show the planning of Singapore. Its goal is to create a sustainable Singapore that provides a quality living environment, offers plentiful growth opportunities and jobs for the people, and safeguards for our clean and green landscape.
Hello, my name is Caden Swancombe from Class 5E. I would like to introduce you the Marina Bay Sands. As Asia's leading destination for relaxation and entertainment, Marina Bay Sands is home to conventional space and breathtaking views, creating a magnificent experience for this trip. As we went to the observation deck, we found ourselves gazing a breathtaking view. We saw the whole Singapore city and took some spectacular photos with our teammates. We also brought ourselves the delectable cup of ice slushy, which made this experience very memorable. Let's look at some extra pictures.
Hello, I am Lucas from Class 5E. I want to introduce you to the iconic statue, the Merlion. The Merlion's fish-like body symbolizes Singapore's origins as a fishing village known as Temasek, a name which comes from the same root as the word Tasek, which is lake in Malay. On our trip, we went to the iconic statue, but it turned out to be under construction. We were saddened by the news, but took pictures with the small Merlion instead.
In fact, Singapore is smaller than Hong Kong, but it has many advantages that's better than ours. The green environment, the housing policy, and the attractions. Singapore's really got something to emulate.
With this fabulous experience of going onto the observation deck in Marina Bay Sands, we learned how wonderful Singapore is and how extraordinary the view can be.
Through this trip to the famous Merlion, I learned a lot about the story behind it. This makes me realize how amazing Singapore's history is. Thank you for listening.
Good afternoon, teachers and fellow schoolmates. We are Broderick, Yi, Evans, Jensen, Gareth, and Lewis. We're excited to be here today to take you on a journey through the mouth-watering world of Singaporean cuisine. Are you ready to explore the delicious and flavorful dishes? Great! Let's dive right in.
Singapore is a melting pot of different cultures, and its food reflects this diversity. It is famous for its diverse culinary traditions influenced by Chinese, Malay, Indian, and other cultures. Singaporean cuisine is a delightful fusion of flavors, spices, and ingredients that create unique and delicious dishes. These pictures show you some famous examples like chili crab, kaya toast, laksa noodles, and bak kut teh, etc.
One iconic Singaporean dish is laksa noodles. These delicious noodles have a rich and fragrant soup made of coconut milk, spices, and herbs. These noodles are usually rice vermicelli, but they are usually served with shrimp, chicken, tofu, and bean sprouts. Laksa noodles have a spicy and savory flavor that will make your taste buds tingle.
We thought laksa noodles were quite tasty, but also too spicy. We even had to chug half a bottle of water to wash the spice away. So, if you're not a fan of intense spiciness, it's always a good idea to ask for a milder version. Don't let the spice deter you from experiencing the wonderful flavors of laksa noodles.
Another beloved Singaporean dish is Hainanese chicken rice. It consists of tender steamed chicken served with fragrant rice cooked in chicken broth. The chicken is juicy and flavorful, and the rice is aromatic and delicious. Hainanese chicken rice is a must-try dish that will leave you wanting more.
To us, it was the perfect balance of the savory of the chicken and the saltiness of the rice. The chicken was incredibly silky, but the rice was the real star, being the best we've ever had. It was so flavorful.
Now let's move on to Lau Pa Sat. Lau Pa Sat has a fascinating history. It was originally built as a fish market in the 19th century, and later moved on to its current location, where it transformed into a bustling food market. Lau Pa Sat is a culinary hub with a wide variety of local dishes. From satay skewers to seafood, it offers a feast for your taste buds. The vibrant atmosphere and the diverse food options make it a perfect place for you to experience the savors of Singapore.
Lau Pa Sat offers a wide variety of local delicacies that will leave you craving for more. From mouth-watering satay to fragrant Hainanese chicken rice, you find an array of authentic Singaporean dishes that showcase the country's multicultural heritage. It is also a heaven for those with a sweet tooth. Wow, I miss those amazing desserts.
We think Lau Pa Sat is a foodie's paradise where you can find a plethora of Singaporean dishes. Caught in an overwhelming array of food stalls, we found ourselves paralyzed by the abundance of choices, making it nearly impossible to decide what to eat.
Next, let's explore bak kut teh, a flavorful pork rib soup that originated from the Hokkien community in Singapore. It's made by simmering pork ribs in a fragrant broth of herbs and spices. The soup has a complex and aromatic flavor that is both comforting and satisfying. Bak kut teh is often enjoyed with steamed rice and a side of dough fritters.
We thought try Bak-kut-teh was a bit overwhelming at first. The strong herbal aroma and the unfamiliar taste of the pork ribs made us a little hesitant. But we gave it a try and ended up finding it surprisingly delicious.
Here comes the end of our presentation. We would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our principal and teachers for offering us the chance and taking good care of us during the trip. Thank you for joining me on this tasty journey through Singaporean cuisine. I hope you've learned something new and are excited to try these amazing dishes. Remember, food is not just about nourishment, but also a way to experience different cultures and create lasting memories. Always enjoy your culinary adventures and happy eating. Thank you.